What's good, superstars? Back with another NFT video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good. You?
Some breaking news potentially about to happen. We're going to get right into that. But guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification. If you want to see some any more NFT news upcoming your way, you can also become a superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. Hit the join button underneath the video. Get one of these stars next to your name when you leave comments. Level up through the stars. You can flex on them once you hit super duper rare. That's a 2-year star. You're going to see some of those in the comments. We got a loyal community behind the channel. Really love talking to them every single day, and it's become a family for us. You can also follow us on X, follow us on Instagram, join the Discord, slide in the DMs in any of these platforms. And on Discord, if you want to talk to anybody else, we've got projects. It is the hub of Web3. If you're into any type of Web3 digital collecting, any of that stuff, there is a space for you in our Discord. And not only that, you can go and browse and peruse in the other Discord chats and maybe learn something about a different project. Then you can decide, okay, maybe I want to participate there. Maybe I just want to sit on the sidelines. But it's a great way for you to go to one place to look at everything.
It's a must join. Make sure you guys join the Discord. It's important you join this. You want to join the Discord because if you're in this space, you have a bunch of superstars. You have Superstar Nation. You can talk about all different kinds of projects. Of course, we always encourage you. You can go to whatever project you like, go to their Discord, support their Discord. But if you want to talk with many different people from different projects in one spot, our Discord is the place to be. And if you use any of your affiliate links, let us know in our Discord. We have special chats that will give you stars at the end of the month. Maybe you win some gifts.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have Rohan from Dapper Labs making a tweet. This is coming out September 13th. So this is on Friday, the 13th of all days. And he puts this tweet out, the new frontiers in technology. So NFT acronym. I mean, play on words there, I guess, ACT. And there's a link here for the house.gov. You can go there and you can look at the document. I think Rob's got it.
Hold on, Joe. Just before we go to that, I just want to say something. If you look at this post, you guys can understand soon why this is pretty big news. Supposedly has 11 reposts, 2 comments. This was on September 13th, 2024. No one's even talking about this, but the implications of what we're seeing here could be potentially massive. So if you click this, it goes to the U.S. House of Representatives Committee Repository. You see here it's going to happen on Wednesday, September 18th, 2024 at 10 a.m. in Washington, D.C. And if you look down here, it talks about added new frontiers in technology NFT Act. So you can hit this PDF, which opens up this bill. So it says 118th Congress, second session, House of Representatives. And it's specifically, and I'll zoom in for you guys here so you guys can see, limiting me to my zoom in here. But I'll try anyways. There we go.
There you go.
All right. It says to specify the treatment of covered non-fungible tokens under the securities laws and for other purposes. Be very specific when it says covered non-fungible tokens. So they define this. And this is going to be extremely important for our understanding of NFTs and utility in the future. Now, you guys definitely, I encourage you to go and read this bill. We just showed you how you can do it. Go follow Rohan and you can do it there. But if you scroll down, it talks about how a covered non-fungible token is not an investment contract, and a transaction in a covered non-fungible token is not a transaction in a security. And then they define it. What is a covered non-fungible token? It says, in general, the term covered non-fungible token means any non-fungible token with the primary purpose of which is a work of art, musical composition, literary work, or other intellectual property, a collectible, merchandise, virtual land, or video game asset. And I want to highlight virtual land or video game asset, because those are big terms that we see all the time when it comes to utility. An affinity, reward, or loyalty point, or a right, license, or ticket. So before I get to the exclusions, right there, we're seeing a clear definition in a House bill defining exactly what is a so-called covered non-fungible token. And I want to highlight it includes rewards. That means you're allowed to give rewards for your NFT project. That does not make it a security. It includes loyalty points. So you could create an ecosystem where you give these loyalty points to whoever is supporting your project, which then I would assume you can continue to give utility. It also includes virtual land, which people have argued you could create an economy within a metaverse where that virtual land can maybe provide you revenue. Perhaps you can use it to put advertisements within that metaverse, and a video game asset, meaning you can buy a digital toy, which is essentially like a disc that you would put into your PS5, PS4, or whatever. I haven't played games in so long now. I don't even know if you need a disc anymore, but you get my point. The cartridge, right? You can go and play. You buy the collectible that gives you access to games. That's the video game asset. You're allowed to do all these things. And I think this is going to be groundbreaking for utility. So, Joe, I don't know if you have any other comments before we move on.
I mean, I think it's better you go through the exclusion so we understand what you can't do, and then we can talk a little bit more about how this affects the projects that we cover in general, or the future of the space moving forward. We do have our opinions on the space moving forward and what the next leg up of users will be. We've talked about this time and time again. We believe that utility will bring the next layer of users, be that through any of these items that you see here, having a reward program, like we've seen from I think was Flow is starting to do that. We've seen loyalty points. We've seen video game assets. We've seen virtual land ideas. So all these collectibles, these are things that would be covered non-fungible tokens, as long as you do not, Rob, pull up the exclusions.
Now, this is the exclusions. This is equally as important as what is included. So the term covered non-fungible token does not include a non-fungible token that is marketed by an issuer or promoter primarily as an investment opportunity, or making actual or implied promised actions or a series of actions designed to increase the value of the non-fungible token. So that, I think, is extremely critical, because when you're dealing with utility, you are flirting with a fine line there of, are you actually promoting an investment vehicle? So if you, it really becomes situational. I remember the whole discussion about how the SEC was going after OpenSea, and then they questioned him on the stand, and they asked him, is this a security? And he said, I don't know. I would need to look into it. It's situational based. The NFT in and of itself is not a security, but how the project owners market it, how they talk about it, it's extremely sensitive to playing with that line of whether or not it is going to be covered non-fungible token or it's going to be excluded because it's an investment vehicle.
Yeah, I think we need to understand another thing here too, is that this is the clarity that people have been waiting for. This bill, if it is passed, will provide that clarity to a lot of projects that are out there that are waiting for regulatory compliances and all of that stuff. So this is a big deal, a big day coming up here. It looks like Wednesday, I think, is the 18th. So if that is a positive result, I mean, this is not formalized yet. This is a bill that they're going to be voting on, it looks like. But this is the guts of it, right? So if this passes, this will become what these projects aim toward to be part of. How it's going to impact projects that didn't follow these rules prior to this bill being signed, I'm not sure. If it means that, okay, moving forward from here, stop advertising or marketing this way, or if they're going to actually retroactively look at things like, how did you market this project, blah blah blah, what are how is this built on, like maybe that will become now something that will come to light. I don't know exactly how that works when it comes to law and legal stuff like that, but it's good to see that there is going to be some clarity on NFTs in general if this bill passes. It looks like they've laid it out pretty well here, just to give as much detail and make it black and white when it comes to, is this a security, is this not a security, less of the situational guessing games, or I mean, there's been some that gone to the courts or whatever, and they've been thrown out, and there's been some that have been tried and they've lost, and they've had to shut down shop. So this seems like it's going to be something that hopefully, if it does pass, will give that clarity. And having a covered non-fungible token seems like what everybody's going to be chasing after if this passes.
I think this is groundbreaking in the space. I would like to thank a superstar for sharing us with this information. This was posted a couple of days ago, and a very special superstar actually sent this to us. So we would like to thank them for pointing this out, because that superstar knows that this is going to be groundbreaking for the space. this kind of legal clarity is going to help really clarify the path forward. And it's going to really help clarify what exactly people can do in the future with their project. And I think that's why Roham is tweeting this, because he knows how important this is going to be. If you're a diehard in this space, you need to know about this, because it's going to have a direct impact on your project. So when we ask questions about, whether or not, a project's doing something right or wrong, or we talk about regulations all the time. Well, what are these regulations? When it comes to utility, these are the regulations. These are the regulations that may come into play, because it becomes the law. And when it becomes the law, that's your real regulation now that you got to watch out for. It's no longer going to be just a regulatory body deciding to the best of their ability on whether or not it meets certain definitions. This is going to bring clarity specifically to this to NFTs and how you can provide utility. It's going to bring clarity in how you can do rewards. It's going to bring clarity about virtual land and all that stuff. And you may see now utilities that a project maybe thought they couldn't do after this bill. If it does get signed, it might be modified, it might be rejected, but let's just say it does get signed. Something of this nature is going to help bring a lot of clarity. And maybe you're going to see projects that have turned and shunned certain utilities. They might come back to it after they see this.
I think Roham and I think Dapper Labs in general, the fact that he's tweeting this out here, it means that they've been aware of this and the potential for it being a signed bill. And I think that they've been building their products around it to specifically be compliant. Obviously, they've dealt with their legal issues. They've had times innovating in the space. Like they're the creator of the word NFT. So obviously they're going to have the biggest hills to get over. They're the innovators in the space. They're the first movers. They've paved the way for any other project that you track. Okay, they've paved the way. They started it. They got Top Shot. They've got CryptoKitties. They're bringing CryptoKitties back. Look at Roham's PFP there. This is from the CryptoKitties. They got the egg. We still don't know what the egg is, but they're making it fun. They love to have that community interaction. So Dapper Labs continues to lead the space by far among any other projects. And Roham and his team over there are completely on top of the space. And now it looks like helping to discover laws here. I mean, this is something that I wouldn't be surprised if they had a little bit of help wording this act to try and get across their message of what they believe an NFT can be and should be moving forward. So very excited to see if this bill passes. If it does passes, I think you're right. I think this is groundbreaking.
But they've been sued probably the most out of anyone. Like they've gone through countless lawsuits. They've done settlements because they were the number one. They were the first. They're pretty much the ones that have to go through this jungle of change and how they're going to deal with the regulatory changes. And they're the ones that dealt with a community that was unhappy with them. And they settled because they argued that they just had too much control between the blockchain, the flow token, and the NFTs. And then the fact that they settled is not legally, I believe, at any guarantee of a precedence. But I think that other projects will look at that settlement and say, well, you know what? If these guys settled on this basis, maybe we should work around that, right? So I think this is some of the biggest news right now in the NFT world, and it could lead to a massive change in your project. And I wonder if it's going to bring in new interest and spark in some interest of new users or new people, or the masses, as we like to say, the masses. When they see more clarity, does that now mean more investment money into the space? And it's not that. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if you clarify utility, I mean, people become less worried and scared of actually providing that utility. And maybe we start to see some more creativity with the utility. And that's when people's eyeballs start to perk up and they're like, oh, you can do what? What can you participate with this project and what happens? So I feel like that is why this is such a big deal. If they're able to get this passed, and then we can start to see kind of rewards or virtual lands or gaming type of things. Yeah,
it's going to go way more than that. Just to finish that original thought, we've already seen it happen with Bitcoin and Ethereum. When the clarity came, when the regulatory clarity came, we got ETFs. Yeah. Now all of a sudden the masses don't have to buy Bitcoin, go through these wallets. You can be a retiree. You want to pick up some Bitcoin, you go buy an ETF, you can stash it. So you guys call it your 401k over there, right? Is it that impossible to think that with more clarity, we may see by extension, just a more acceptance? I'm not saying it's going to be an ETF, but more acceptance of the masses in some other medium to using these things. And I think that's the point. Like in the case of Bitcoin, it was an investment. That's why it made sense to have the ETF, the spot ETF, to help people buy it. I don't know if NFTs are going to have that, because the whole point of a covered NFT is to not be an investment. But we may see through a different form, not an ETF, but could be just companies maybe using it more frequently because that utility clarity is there. Going forward, maybe your Starbucks, they've already failed with it once, but maybe with this clarity, they'll come back, because now that it's clear, they're going to say, okay, well, we can do this project. We don't have that same risk legally that we may have had previously, and we can run our utility programs now through that. So I think there's a lot of upside, and we're going to be watching this to see what happens to this. Guys, you can let us know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the new Frontiers in Technology Act? It's the NFT Act. Let us know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, hit the bell notification to get every single video every single day. Also, Superstar VIPs, 2 months, start beside your name, access spreadsheet giveaways. Guys, thank you so much. Take care. See you next one. Bye-bye.
Love you.